Hey guys, today I'm going to be going over fire blankets and showing you guys how to use them, and then I'm going to demonstrate them on an actual fire. This is a fire blanket right here. It's pretty self-explanatory what it does, but what it does is it basically just smothers fires. It's a fire extinguishing blanket. The blanket is made of fiberglass, so it's not flammable, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't be a very good blanket. And you can see from the pictures, this is pretty good for smothering kitchen fires. That's primarily the use, and it's also good for if someone's clothes catch on fire. You can see from the hole in the top, this is just designed to mount on the wall via some hook or screw. And then to use it, what you do is you just pull on these two tabs, and then this bag is Velcroed. And what it would do is just pull out the blanket. I honestly don't see these a whole lot in the United States, with the exception of, science classrooms and schools, just because it is good for if someone's clothes catch on fire. But these are pretty much everywhere in the UK. I do see these a lot mounted in people's kitchens, and I think that's for the better because it's good. It won't leave a mess like a fire extinguisher will, and it's fairly simple to use. So let's go ahead and test them. So I've gone ahead and mounted this on a hook just so I can show you guys how to operate a fire blanket. So generally when this is mounted on a wall, what you're going to do is go ahead and pull down on these two black tapes like it says. So just down, and now you have your fire blanket out. So this is where a lot of people don't know what to do. So they just unfold it, whatever. It's a blanket, once again, it's fiberglass, so it's not flammable. It is kind of stiff. And they just grab it like this with their hands, and then they just try to put it over a fire. You are going to burn yourself. Your hands should not be over the edge. What you really want to do when you hold a fire blanket is grab the black tabs and then kind of just fold it over yourself like this, so that way you're shielded from the fire. All right, so oh crap, cooking got out of control. Luckily we have our nice nifty fire blanket. So pull down, unfold it, hold it by its tabs like that, shield yourself from the fire, and just cover it. So you got to make sure that it covers the thing completely, because the main way this works is it's just sealing off the oxygen supply. But at this point, what you do is you turn off your stove or your heat source, and then you just let it sit. If I lift this, there's a good chance that it could reignite. So let's try that. You can see it's smoking because it's really hot, but at this point, because there's no actual stove, it's just going to go out. And as you can see, the fire blanket has sustained some damage. I'm going to demonstrate this one more time, this time with the camera a little closer. So once again, fold it to conceal your hands and then just cover it. The thing about fire blankets I want to mention is that you have to actually put the blanket over the fire. You cannot just throw the blanket. It is literally a blanket and will get carried away with the wind sometimes. I've seen some videos where people just do that and expect it to go out. Right now your kitchen's burning down because you don't know how to use a fire blanket. One last thing, a fire blanket is not a substitute for a fire extinguisher. There's situations where a fire blanket will not work, and a fire extinguisher will always work. All right, that was my fire blanket demonstration. Hopefully you learned something. Something that I cannot reiterate enough is that these are not designed to replace fire extinguishers. There's really no substitute for a fire extinguisher. Other than a fire extinguisher, this is just a good supplementary thing to have. Of course, it's just good for smothering those small fires, but for pretty much any other fire other than a controlled pan fire, any solid combustible, you are not going to be able to use a fire blanket. This literally relies on being able to get over the fire and cut off the oxygen. A fire extinguisher can do that, the blanket cannot. However, a fire blanket is still great to have. I'm going to be putting one in my kitchen just because I think that these are pretty good. It is great because it doesn't leave a mess like a fire extinguisher, and it is fairly easy to use. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I honestly don't see these a whole lot in the United States, with the exception of, science classrooms and schools, just because it is good for if someone's clothes catch on fire. But these are pretty much everywhere in the UK. I do see these a lot mounted in people's kitchens, and I think that's for the better because it's good. It won't leave a mess like a fire extinguisher will, and it's fairly simple to use. So let's go ahead and test them.